I wish I could leave my skin behind in this old rented room, float my way across the great divide and be buried in you. I've been looking far and wide for what I gotta prove, and putting pigs in my
Hello, everyone. It's Mindy. You know, it's Wednesday. Well, it's Tuesday, depending on, if you're you or me. Anyhow, wow, my tripod and the leg of my chair and everything, or my table, is all right in my way. Anyhow, let's just get to it. I've opened up a new section, right? Maybe, there's a chance, there's a small, slim possibility that I could finish this in March. I don't know. We'll find out. The other night during my live, I diamond painted quite a bit. There's a hair already. I thought I got everything all cleaned up and straightened up and ready to go, but now we have a hair. Yeah, I got quite a bit done during my live, and I was quite pleased and quite happy, and that cruised along. So, we'll give it a go, and we'll just keep working on it, and we'll see how it goes, and if I finish it in March or not. Did I say February? I might have said February. I don't know. You know what I mean, though, right? You know what I mean. So there we go. Fresh new section. Let's just get going on it. So I hope everybody's week has gone well. We've had an interesting week, that's for sure. So let's just start with last Thursday when we had thunderstorms. That's what it was supposed to be, was thunderstorms come through, because we had a warm front coming in, clashing with a cold front, and that always causes a weather disturbance. Low percentage of anything really tragic, very low percentages, and yet there were tornadoes. Severe tornadoes that caused a lot of property damage and loss of life even. So that was southwest of where I live. So it stayed in the southern part of the state, closer to the Indiana border down there, but still it was a tragic thing. I think it even feels worse when it was not expected, when there was such a low percentage, a low possibility of being storms of that capacity. That makes it even harder, but it happened. So let's jump to today. Let's talk about today. Today we have the opposite thing happening. So it got really warm. It did get really warm. I think yesterday might have reached 70 degrees, maybe reached 70. It was super warm. It's been very nice and warm. We had a couple days of rain around that storm, or it just kept raining and kept raining. My allergies decided to go absolutely crazy, which it's not a normal allergy time for me. Just like it's not a normal storm time in Michigan either. So it's just, everything went nutsy. Cuckoo, banana, nutsy, right? But it rained and it rained and it rained. The pond filled up. We'll talk about the pond in a minute, because we got something going on out there with our pond. We're trying to remedy, and we're not remedying it yet. So we'll talk about that in a little bit here. But anyhow, yeah, it's just been very warm. And guess what's happening later today? We're having the opposite thing happen, because now it's very warm, and now we have a cold front moving in. So, whenever you have those two, very different air masses, cold and warm, come together, they clash, and that's when you get all of this, severe weather. So we've been looking at, the weather and different things on my phone and whatnot. once again, here we go. The percentage, the possibility of severe, like tornadoes and stuff, is low. Very, very low. It's a little bit higher in my area. It's going right kind of through the same path again. It's going to stay mainly in the lower part of Michigan, the very southern part, for the worst of it. But it's very low percentages of anything severe. It gets a little higher, 5 to 10% hail, like some serious hail, and a little bit higher for winds. But, so we're keeping an eye on it, trying to make sure we all are aware and staying safe and all of that. So, wild ride, I am telling you, just wild, wild, wild ride with the weather. So, anyhow, like I was saying, because we got so much rain, I mean, we have a sump pump in our basement, because we have the water comes in around the house in these pipes that are in the ground around the house. And then it goes into the basement, into the sump pump, and then it gets pumped out. When I talk about our little creek, our little river, on the side of our house where the sump pump ejects the water that's been sucked in through all the tubes and whatnot, it ejects the water into like this little river or trail of rocks that just then head out to the pond. Not everybody has that. I mean, if you have a sump pump, your water's going somewhere. It's usually just going out a long, long downspout, to get it away from your house and just dumping out in your yard somewhere. But because the pond is out there, they designed it so that that water goes into the rocks and goes down this little hill and out into the pond, hopefully. Now, we have redone that since we have lived here. We took out all the rocks and lined it with heavy pool liner so that the water would keep traveling down the little creek, instead of just stopping there and just going back into the ground, because that's not what we want it to do. We don't want it to go right back into the ground again, because then you're just pumping it back out again. So we did that a few years ago, and it really seems to help. You can actually go out there when the water ejects, and you can watch it just flow like a creek right down those rocks, and out to the pond. So it's kind of cool. But it's very full. Back to that point. The pond is full. Now, if you recall, Dale has gone out there and he has installed fence. It was to keep our chickens home. And then the neighbor started not wanting the ducks over there, even though they really liked the ducks, and she always said she didn't mind the ducks. Now she doesn't like the ducks over there either. And I'll tell you why. I heard from her the other day because the ducks were in her yard and she wanted me to come get my ducks because she's trying to preserve basically it's a lilac bush. It's a lilac bush that sustained a lot of damage in a storm last year or the year before, I don't know when. And she's trying to preserve this lilac and keep it alive. And her thought on the whole thing is my ducks go over there and dig up around her lilac. So they're going to kill her lilac. Well, okay. I have a few issues with that, and I'm going to be nice about it here. I'm going to be nice. First of all, I never see the ducks over there around her lilac bush. All right. They may be sometimes, but if they are, they're not there very long. I'll just say. I don't think the ducks dig up around her lilac because my ducks don't dig up anything here. So why they would go over there and dig up things, it just doesn't make sense to me. Okay. Now, does she have a bird feeder? Yes, she does. So there's a bird feeder, and it is, where is it? It is very close to her lilac. So even wild birds, if you have a bird feeder, wild birds aren't the neatest. They will drop seed on the ground and other birds will pick it up off the ground, or squirrels or chipmunks, any of those little critters. And they will dig up the ground around your bird feeder for sure. Okay. Absolutely, positively, for sure. It happens to ours, you know. So there's that. And then they have installed a deer feeder in their side yard. So between their house and our woodsy area, they have, and I didn't know they did it until just maybe a month or so ago. I saw it. We were driving by and I was like, they have a deer feeder out there, don't they, Dale? And he looked and he's like, they sure do. I was like, okay, well, then that makes sense why the deer keep hanging out over there in their yard. Okay, it's all making sense, right? So you know what deer will do. Deer will destroy pretty much anything in their path. So my poor ducks are kind of getting blamed for digging up around her lilac when she's got all these wild birds over there. She's got rabbits up the wazoo because I see them over there all the time. And the deer, because now she's feeding the deer. So I'm like, it's probably not my ducks. I mean, I can't guarantee that, but it is probably not the ducks. Okay. But in my ducks' defense, okay, when we had all that rain and everything, their yard it's right along in front of their house. They have a whole area that's just brush and trees. They don't mow. It's not their yard. It's their property, but they don't mow it. It's trees. It's wild. The deer go in there. Everything goes in there. The animals love it. The ducks go in there, and their yard with all that water got all these little ponds everywhere, all these little ponds in the yard, out in the bush there. And the ducks are just like, hey, this is new. This is different. This is a fun place to go just slosh around. Yes, we have an entire pond to swim in, but this is just kind of fun. It's a whole entire playground over there. And as somebody said in my live on Saturday night, they've created a beautiful playground over there that my ducks love with snacks. We got a bird feeder, and my ducks love birdseed. And we got a deer feeder, and I'm certain my ducks are jamming on that as well. So they've created a perfect little haven over there, a perfect little place for my ducks to want to hang out. Even though I don't think my ducks are doing the damage. I really don't. When I see the ducks, most of the time they have been right at the brush line. And then, because that's where the puddles were in their yard, over by the driveway. There's lots of puddles. I know because I went over and got them the other day and made them come home. But I don't see them like up by the house a whole lot. I have seen them go beside the house though, like back to where the deer feeder is, I was very nice. I even, I said, we're trying to keep the ducks home. The rain has caused the level of the pond water to be so high that it's up to the fence and the ducks can just swim over it. It's not hard for them at this point in time to just swim right over the fence, okay? Because the water is so high. This is a stretch. I'm telling you. I'm working on, we'll talk about my arm in a minute, but we're working on moving it, getting it to move further and better and all that stuff. But over that way, that's a stretch. So I'm trying to get closer and closer so I can move my whole body and not just my arm. Anyhow, so yeah. Now Dale's getting upset about it because he can't seem to keep the ducks home. He's tired of trying to figure it out. He gets out there the other day and it's about 57 degrees. and he's trying to get into the pond to see if he can pull this fence up any higher. He pulled it up a little higher, but he had to get, oh my gosh, he had to get like these little floaty things that we have, you know, that you can go take out in the lake and stuff. He's on one of these little floaties out there floating around in the pond because he couldn't walk out there. I looked out there at one point. I think I do have a video clip of him. He's in water and he's up to like chest height. And that wasn't even in the middle. So it's deep. And the other problem is it's mucky in the bottom. He's like, yeah, I got in a few steps on the one side and I was just sinking in the muck. And I'm like, okay. He said, I really need to just be able to be on the water. So he tried the little floaty device and it worked. It didn't work enough. It can't go high enough at this point to prevent the ducks from going across. So now he's frustrated. And when he gets frustrated, he's like, I'm just going to get rid of them. I'm tired of dealing with it. I'm going to get rid of them. I'm going to sell them. I'm going to get rid of them. I'm like, no, just no. I said, you know, I think we need to just not worry about it so much. Maybe we ask her if we could fence her side of the pond, you know, just go around the pond with some fencing. And then they couldn't get in her yard. I don't know how she'd feel about that, but I'm about to ask. Dale's got some other ideas. Once he got over his frustration, because he was frustrated, once he got over his frustration, then he sat and thought for a few minutes, and he's like, I might have an idea. And I'm like, okay. He said it would have been better to do it when there was ice, but then the fence was frozen to the ice too. So there was that. Anyhow, one way or another, I don't know if we're ever going to keep the ducks home or if they're always going to find a way over to the neighbors. I just don't know. But that's our challenge at the moment. The chickens don't go over there. The chickens cannot get over there. They don't even attempt to go over there. So the chickens are home. And at first, that was all she was worried about was the chickens. The chickens will dig and scratch up stuff. The ducks, not so much, though, you guys. Not so much with the ducks. Anyhow, we'll see how it goes. More rain's coming, so it's not like, you know, the fence is going to be any more barrier because the pond's only going to get higher and eventually it's going to just cover the posts and the fence completely. We did have an incident the other night, though. After he went out there and raised that fence up as high as he could get it, and the ducks still got over on the other side, at night, time to come in, 3 of the ducks couldn't figure out how to get across and come back over the fence. 3 of them couldn't come across. They could not figure it out. One of our ducks ended up on their side of the fence trying to come up into our yard through the trees and through the brushy stuff there and just freaking out and got stuck in a tree, which is really a bush, but it looks like a tree. It's so big. Got stuck in this bush and hurt its leg. Dale finally got into the bush and got a hold of it and got it out of there and like got it back into our yard. But at that point, the poor thing had injured its leg. Don't know what it did. Don't know if it's going to heal. Don't know if it's, I don't know. And then to make matters worse, when it got into our yard, it took off. And it took off like hobbling because it couldn't walk on its leg. It's hobbling away out into all of our woodsy area with the cat behind it. Sunny is like following the duck as it's going further and further out into the bushy area. Needless to say, that duck did not come in that night. Sunny didn't come in until very late. And I'm like, stop chasing the duck around. Stop worrying about where the duck is. Cat, you come in. He finally did come in, but the duck stayed out all night. So, of course, we're like, well, that's the end of that duck, right? No, she survived. She totally survived. And she was out there the next day. Now, she cannot walk on it. She cannot walk on that leg. So last night, coming in, She was the last one to come up out of the pond because, she can swim in the pond, but she can't walk. So Dale got her up, out of the water eventually, and she decided that she could fly a little bit. So she kind of flew back to the pen, and then she tried to walk a little bit or hobble. And then, he's following behind her, so she'd take off and she'd fly again. She got very close to the pen, and I think she was just like, okay, I can't go any further. I'm worn out. I'm tired. I'm plopping a squat right here. And Dale was actually able to just walk up to her at that point and picked her up. If she would just let him pick her up, it would be so much easier. But she finally did. She finally let him pick her up where he could just carry her the rest of the way into the pen. And he put her in the coop inside with some food of her own so she didn't have to go out into the pen and fight with everybody else and all that. So no telling what's going to happen with her. I mean, we've had ducks before that have hobbled around and healed, but if she broke the leg, I don't know if it's going to repair itself. Maybe she just twisted it. Maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. So time will tell. Time will tell what happens. But all just to try to keep our ducks out of the neighbor's yard, away from the playground that they seem to enjoy so much. So that's been an interesting situation, trying to keep our ducks in our yard, even though they're probably not hurting anything over there. But anyhow, Dale took the opportunity when it was really nice and the ground was really saturated to go out and roll the lawn the other day. He's got a new roller. He bought a new roller. He's out there rolling the lawn and rolling the lawn. So look at how much I've done, you guys. Now, am I feeling it? Yes, I'm feeling it. I'm definitely feeling it in my arm. But hey, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're diamond painting, and it's a little easier than the first few times I've diamond painted. But it's still a challenge for sure. It's not like normal. Absolutely not. Like, it's getting tired. Definitely getting tired. And I went to therapy today, so it's already been worked a little bit. So it's really kind of yelling at me like, okay, lady, all right. So let's talk about that real quick. Yesterday was my 6-week post-op appointment with the surgeon. First time I've seen the surgeon since before surgery, when we decided, hey, let's go fix it. Okay. Because when I went for my 2-week, I did not see her. I saw, somebody else in the office. Anyhow, I had a lot of questions, First of all, what all did you do? Because, I'm not even certain what all you did. All I know is you did more than I thought you were going to do. And I'm not certain what you did. And I got questions as to why my arm cramps, why the one spot, which I've lovingly called the corner, why that still pulls and tugs so much, and that's my problem area. Why? Just, lots of things. So she said, okay, well, let me do something. Let me exam first, and then we'll talk about it all. I'm like, okay. So she had me, do things on my own, like raise my arm up, raise it out to the side, did some resistance stuff, like pushing against her hand and whatnot. And then she raised it different directions. And she's got somebody there with a computer jotting down her, her assessments, her numbers and whatnot. She's like, okay, well, it looks good. It all looks good. She goes, okay, well, let's look at the computer. I'll show you what we got. So she started showing me images of my shoulder, the inside of my shoulder, and trying to show me what it is. And I'm not really following along. Well, I can't really tell what she's actually trying to show me. Except the first couple images, she's like, okay, so this is your shoulder before surgery. And you see all that red in there? I'm like, yeah. She goes, yeah. Your shoulder was very angry. We'll just say your shoulder was quite angry. all that red is like soreness and inflammation, and that's what a lot of the pain's from. She says, yeah. So it wasn't a happy shoulder. Okay. So the main tendon in my shoulder has a big long name, something spinatus or something like that. I don't know. Was really torn and fraying and whatnot. And she's pointing to this picture that she says, and there's a hole. Here's a hole here. She says, it's not a huge hole, but there's a hole. And I'm thinking, well, why is there a hole? What do you mean? I could see there was a hole, like a big black spot with nothing in it, hole. And I think that was through the tendon, but I don't know. So basically, they put anchors in and just cinch it all down after they clean it up. Because it's all fraying and stuff, I mean, I imagine, your jeans are fraying. You know how we were when we were kids? Our jeans would fray. And you take your scissors and you could cut off the frayed parts. I mean, that's what I envision in my head. But apparently it's not quite like that. There's like special tools that kind of, more like a shaver, I guess, Like, do you have one of those things for like your sweaters and stuff? You can rub and takes the pills off and whatnot. That's my envision of what they do with the fraying tendons. Just kind of, and it cleans it up and just smooths it. Okay. All right. So they did that. And then she anchors it down, puts an anchor in the bone and sutures it down, just locks it down tight. Okay. Got that part. All right. Cleaned up a bunch of stuff in there around the rotator cuff and area. Just shaving it up, I guess. Cleaning it up. Getting all the ridgy stuff, the fray stuff off. Then they detach the bicep tendon. They detach it and reattach it. And I said, so did you like have to screw that into the bone? And she goes, no, it wasn't ever in the bone. I'm like, no, I know, but did you have to like screw it into the bone when after you cut it to reattach it? And she goes, oh, no, I don't think no, I didn't put a screw in on you. She said, I just sutured it down and sewed it down back up in the shoulder cuff area. Found a nice spot and sewed it in there. I'm like, oh, okay. Because everything I've looked at, everything I've read, they put a hole in your arm bone and put that tendon in your arm bone and screw it in there and glue it in there. I'm like, okay, but I shouldn't do that. I'm like, okay, all right. So now I understand, even though I couldn't see what she's talking about on the pictures. I could see the anchor in my arm though, where she did that. That was interesting. But I was like, she goes, so I'm going to tell you everything is fine. Everything is fine. You're fine. Everything looks good. She said, and you are not going to pull that out. Because I kept talking about the tugging and the pulling in the one spot. How it just feels like it wants to just come out, like somebody's pulling it. It's going to get pulled out. And she goes, you are not going to pull it out. She says, it is in there. It is secure. You're not going to pull it out. You do not have to fear that. You're not going to do that. The only way you could do some damage to it is if you're like out throwing baseballs every day, or you're lifting cement blocks, or you are trying to catch something heavy. You reach out and you catch something heavy and it yanks down your arm, or you fall. She said, those are really the only scenarios where you're going to damage that. You're okay. And of course, I started crying and I'm like, all right. She said, as far as the pain goes, she said, there's no telling. She said, you have to remember, you are still in healing phase. Healing phase can be, a good 8 or 9 weeks of just still healing. There's still a lot of inflammation. And the spot that I keep talking about, she said, it could be anything. She said, there's a lot of stuff in there that we worked on, right through that access point right in there. She said, it's just got to heal. And I'm like, okay. As far as like the cramping I was getting, she said, if ice doesn't do it, try heat. Try putting heat on it. That might help with the cramping. I'm like, okay, I've been doing that a little bit. Okay, got it. And then she said, it's all good. I know you're frustrated that it's not happening faster, feeling better faster, but it's all good. It all just takes time and you're fine. She said, what you need to do and what I want you to do is move it. Just move it. Start moving it. Don't be afraid to move it. It might not always feel comfortable. If it doesn't, then stop. But just get it moving. She said that is the best thing you can do right now. Because, we've been doing a lot of passive movement where I'm not really doing it. It's being assisted. And she's like, yep, you don't have to do that anymore. She said, just you start getting it going. And I was like, okay, all right. So, that's what I did the rest of the day. I just tried to pretend that it was a normal arm. I mean, even though it's not, nothing crazy, but just try things. Just walk normally, reach for things, just all the things. And moved it a lot. Woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning and my arm was flipping out. 2 o'clock in the morning, my arm is twitching and freaking out, and my hands are trembling, and I'm like, okay, wow. I was like having a fit. I couldn't get it to stop. I'm like, oh my goodness. And of course it was hurting as well, Finally, it settled down and it just stopped all the twitching and the spasms. And I was like, oh Lord. Okay. Wow. That's what it's like when you ask it to work again. This is not going to be fun, right? This is just not going to be fun. So anyhow, got to therapy today, went over all that with my therapist, and she's like, all right, good. All right. Okay. She says, well, it's time. We're gonna get a little more aggressive. Not much. We'll take it a little slow, but we're gonna start doing some other types of exercises. I was like, okay, all right. I guess let's do it. I mean, I want it better. I know I'm gonna have to do this, so let's just do it. I told her, I said, well, I pre-med it up before I got here, in anticipation of what we're gonna do today. She's like, okay, good. Well, all right, you ready to go? She said, anything we do today, just let me know on Thursday when you come back how it was. If it was too much, if it was tolerable, if you lived through it, all that stuff. I'm looking for my next color and I can't find it. I'm looking for like the thing that looks like Saturn. And I can't find it. Oh, where did it go? Oh, there it is. I was looking for something that was more purple, and it's not purple at all. It's gray. That's why it wasn't popping out at me. Okay. So yeah, we did things. I did this little thing up the wall with my fingers, and I did some things moving it out sideways, and I'm moving it. I'm like, okay, all right. Yep, we're feeling it. We are feeling it for sure. And now the rest of the day, I've tried to just, keep it moving. Just stop the time to guard it and protect it. So much is over. And it's time to just start moving it and using it. Now, do I feel it? Absolutely. Are there times when I go, whoop, no, don't go that way. Don't move that direction. Don't, that was too far or whatnot. But just trying to kind of act like it's somewhat normal, but it's not. You know what I mean? So we're in it now, folks. We are in it now. And I just hope that it starts, in another couple weeks. When we're at the 8-week mark, maybe it'll be moving better and be less painful and all of that. I told my therapist today, I was like, okay, I've got a goal. I got one goal right now. I mean, I've been able to use my right hand to assist, like with my pants, assist more with getting dressed, things like that. Um, Getting my hand up higher, I can like use it to eat. Not a lot because it does get super tired, but I can use it with a fork and stuff or a spoon, for a little while until it's like, okay, that's enough. I'm tired. Stop it. The one thing I want within the next 2 weeks is to be able to put my hands up on my head and put my hair in a ponytail. That is a goal. I'm giving myself 2 weeks because I can get my hand up to my head. I can get it in my hair. I can use it to help like gather up my hair, but I can't get up there and put the elastic in my hair. So that's a goal I have. I don't know if I'll make it in 2 weeks. That seems like that's a special skill, but we're gonna try. We're gonna work towards it. Started brushing my teeth with my right hand. Just small little things, All these small little things add up to big wins, but it is rough. I'm just gonna say it's rough. Um, it's not easy. None of it is easy. So that's what I have to look forward to. Now we're really getting into the let's get it going phase, Up until this point, it was kind of like, yeah, we're moving it so it doesn't get stiff and whatnot, but we're not doing a whole lot of active stuff. And now, boy, are we active. We're active. We're going for it. Anyhow, there's that. Okay. I guess I'm done talking about that. All that fun stuff. You guys will always get just a little weekly update, about how it's all going. If you don't like that part, I'm sorry. Chuck along is coming along. We're in week 2. And today I had Dale open my puzzle for me. I realized I couldn't open the puzzle. I haven't been able to start it. I couldn't even open it. The puzzle box is like glued, like the lid is kind of glued on, and I couldn't get it off. So he was doing something. Oh, he was opening the dog food. He got his knife out today and he was opening up the dog food bag. And I said, hey, while you got that out, can you open up this puzzle for me? I said, it's all glued down. I can't get the lid off. I thought maybe I could work on a puzzle this month for the chuck-along. So he opened it for me. It's open. So I might be able to actually, open it and look at it and maybe put some of it together. We'll see. All right, we shall see. Oh, I forgot to tell you the other fun thing that happened. Maybe I did. Maybe I said something. My allergies. When that storm came through the other day and that weather changed like it did, my allergies decided to just go stupid on me. I mean, my left eye was watering, my left nostril was running. Now it's stuffed up. I don't know why it's gone to being stuffed up now, but I'm like, are you serious? We're not really at spring yet. Why are you doing this? Yeah, that's not fun. I have not been enjoying that. So not only am I taking an Allegra, I've actually taken an Allegra twice a day, several days this week. It's a 24-hour Allegra, but I've taken it twice. I've taken it in the morning and I've taken it late afternoon, early evening again. And, my doctor had told me that you can do that. It's not going to hurt to do that as long as you're not doing that all the time. But if you're having a really bad episode, which, oh my gosh, it's been bad, you can take it twice, just don't do it all the time. So there has been times in the last few days I have needed it twice. And the Sudafed for the decongestant part. It's crazy. It's absolutely bizarre, crazy, loco, nutso, just wild. Wild times, folks. Wild times. Well, and I mean, I know it's spring, and I know, well, it's not spring, But we're getting spring-ish because the birds are coming back. I'm starting to see our birds that aren't normally here. I've seen 2 robins. I think it was my sister posted on Facebook yesterday that she's heard the spring peepers. I have not heard the spring peepers yet, and I was out last night. No, not last night. Yes, I was. I was out last night helping Dale get the ducks in, and I did not hear our peepers yet. So I haven't heard peepers yet, but I have seen 2 robins. I have seen a killdeer. What else signals spring here, bird-wise? I don't know. There's several birds that we think of with spring coming back, but I have not seen red-winged blackbirds. That's one. That's a big one. I haven't seen any of them yet, and I have not heard our peepers yet. So I'm certain they're here, or almost, and it's just around the corner. I'll start hearing the peepers and seeing the red-winged blackbirds and stuff, but it's coming. I mean, it's coming, but we got another bout of cold weather and possible wintry mix, where we could get some snow again. It is only March. It's very, very, very likely to get snow again in March here. And especially if it's going to be in the 30s later this week. Yeah. The cats are like, they don't know what to do. They start to get a little freedom outside. The snow is melted. The grass is dried. Time to go, play, roam. And then it rains. And they don't want to be out in the rain. And even after the rain, they don't like to be out there because it's all wet. Sonny is the funniest. He walks out there, and if he gets his paws wet, he's like shaking his paws, like, ooh, ooh, ooh. My paw is wet, and I don't like it wet. So they're kind of in this, do we go out? Do we not go out? Do we come in? They're all over the place, too. It's just a wild time right now, you guys. It's like nothing is stable. Nothing is normal. Nothing is the same. It's just all over the board. All over the board. So, okay, I gotta say, this right here is a lot of diamond painting in one sitting. That's a lot. I've done a lot. I got a lot of this color to go yet, but that's a lot. And I have no idea how long I've been running my mouth. Oh, you know what else I had to do? Here's another thing I had to do. Oh, we're at 42 minutes. Hey, I've been talking a long time. I had to get a new mic. Yep, the mic died. It had been giving me a hard time connecting. Like when you plug this little piece, the receiver, into the bottom of your phone. It just plugs right into your phone. And then you have your mic. The receivers, the mic, the transmitter. I don't know. There's one of, I don't know. I don't know which one's which. But anyhow, the part that was plugging into my phone wasn't connecting very well. I could move it, jiggle it, put it in one way, try it the other way, upside down way. And it just was like, it was finally, no matter what I did, it wouldn't come on. So I'm like, great. I was trying to record a video, which I think I did without a mic. Saturday night, I did not have a mic. I'm like, I gotta order a mic. So I ordered a new mic, and it came with 2. This one actually has 2 little microphones. So I could have 2 people hooked up at the same time. People were like, oh, you could have Dale on. And I'm like, I could. Or anybody else I would like. 2 of us can be on at the same time. You can hear both of us. But I was really happy that came, like, that overnighted. Literally overnight. I'm like, okay, cool. So I got a new mic. Hope it sounds good. I haven't really listened to a video on YouTube yet with the new mic. So I don't know how it's sounding. Okay, where's the one that has the tab? Something has a tab. Is it you? One of these things is not letting the drills come together. Come together right now. Is it you? If I replace you, will you come together? Yep, it was you. Okay. All right. Well, I think I'm about to stop because I don't have much else to talk about. And my arm is going, lady, this is 2 days in a row. You are asking us to work hard. And we don't want to work that hard. We're done. But you got to keep going. I got to go do some retreat stuff. That's coming up fast and furious. And I still got quite a few things to handle. So I better skedaddle on my way and go handle some of that. There's one thing important I got to do today. So I better go do that. All right, guys. I'm going to let you go. Hope you have a good week. And I'll talk to everybody soon. Bye, everybody.